Good morning, humans. I'm here once again to be annoyed that I'm wearing glasses. And I hate glasses so much. Oh, man. Contacts are kind of expensive. I could probably do the monthly ones now, I think. Like, when I had like a week trial with monthly contact glasses or contact lenses, and it was really hard to get them in and out, and I always felt like I was going to lose them and whatever. And then I tried the dailies, and they were so much easier. So that's why I have dailies. The problem with dailies is you, they're really expensive, right? Like to have enough to actually wear them daily. So I got like a 3-month supply. I use like maybe on average once a week, but now I'm used to them. I can get them in like super lickety split easy time. So maybe I could handle the monthly ones. That's my story about contact lenses and not ever wanting to wear glasses again. What up, JF? Hey, Eric. Hey, God Emperor of Mankind. I don't wear contacts anymore, but I did have dailies last. Alright, let's go. I'm thirsty. Be right back. Oh, I didn't even make coffee. What am I doing?
The nightmare shall end. My dreaming ends. Your nightmare begins.
Still want water. All right. Ready to go. Midday Marshy, what up, Schmoopy? Yo, hey, Ray. What's going on, Marshy? How's your Sunday going? What's on the agenda for today? What's Spaghetti Goose Grumbus deck? You running good, sir. Hope all is well. Playing more Cthulhu Druid. Alright. Because I only play Cthulhu Druid now for some reason. And the reason is I like Cthulhu Druid. Did you ever put Ashen in the ETC? I didn't. I think it doesn't matter too much, but I guess like maybe it's technically better. So yeah, maybe I should do it. Time for the yearly lurker shout out to Martian. Hey, thank you so much for the 36 months, Karen. I really appreciate it. How are you? Hey, Martian, playing any fun games off stream? You know, I just finished Arceus Legends yesterday. So Arceus Legends is the Pokemon game that, like, it's kind of open world, and you go around doing mostly just what you want, and it was really fun. When it first came out and I was like really into it, I eventually got stuck on Thundurus, Landorus, Tornadus. I had a really hard time catching those ones. And so, like, I took a break from the game, and then I just never unbroke. I forgot to go back. And then I wanted to, but I'd forgotten the controls, and it sounded tedious to relearn them. But anyways, a few days ago, I relearned the controls, and I actually very easily got the Tornadus, Landorus, Thundurus. Like, it was not hard. Like, I'm confused that I had any trouble with them in the first place. So, yeah, so for the past, like, few days, I've been getting the last of the Pokedex. I thought that I had caught everything else other than them already, and I was just waiting on them, but I still had, like, a handful of things I needed to hunt down. And then did the Arceus fight, and now it's, like, done. So, waiting on that next Legends game. It's so fun, like, to not have to battle Pokemon to actually advance the game. What if I did this? What then? What then, chat? I have so many more manas than my opponent. Are you sad Snap is dead? I haven't played Snap in a while. I sometimes get the urge to play Snap, and like, what do we trade? Oh, they took my A&R. Brutal. At least I have this Yogs around, I guess. It's like really nice to have this out of the way. As long as it's actually out of the way, right? Like, I don't actually know for sure. I could swipe it. Yeah, let's just swipe it. Let's get rid of it. I don't know how they would get that back, but I'd rather them just not have it back, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep this to get Cthulhu, I think. But yeah, so I sometimes get the urge to play Snap again, but because of the way it's set up, every, you know, like week I don't play, it becomes harder and harder to get back into it, right? So the I'm just like so far behind that it would feel like buying the game all over again if I like started playing Snap again. So it's not that I'm like happy it's dead, it's that like it doesn't affect me, because unless they completely overhauled the way that you acquire cards, what do I get out of Snap? Nothing. Is not relevant to me any longer. Well, I don't have any Cthulhu pieces. I really want them. I also like don't want to put minions out because I don't want them to naturalize me. But I mean, they can naturalize themselves, right? And those aren't super important. Well, maybe I should have played this. Day 3 of Cthulhu Druid. Martian brings testing the local floral for edible plants. Begins testing the local floral for edible plants. Like the blossoms. Okay. I guess I'll start with this. I think this is what I want. I guess. Oh man, everything's too expensive. Draw 2, refresh 2. Like refresh twice. Yeah. I don't know. I know I'm gonna burn these pieces. I just know it. I know it. Well, if you just kill Jaden now. Oh, like, do they just leave if I do that? Is that your idea? They're actually kind of getting out of range of my Cthuns. Maybe I should try to save my Solar Moonlit to get extra copies. What time is the mini set review? It is whenever I get enough like footage for this or gameplay for this video. So TBD. Most mill druids run Tog in the ETC. Well, there you have it. Yeah, we can just refresh. I was gonna draw more, but like we got draw. Floop is all that's left. Alright, so I'm planning to use Moonlit on my Cthulhu. So... Aw, that's... Is that the worst hit? So the... Kill Jaden plan is officially out. That is not happening. Okay, I have these two. Why do they have to be so far to the bottom of the deck, chat? Like, I'm almost gonna just do this just because I know that they're gonna naturalize due process me soon. Most male druids run Tog in the ETC, so if you KJ early, you're kind of setting yourself up to get swapped. Fair enough. None of those could have hit this. I guess I steal that, right? Like, the worry is that it'll discard cards from my hand or something, but I guess we go for it. Okay, trees is fine. And that's fine. Order lol, but fine. Wow, this is yeah, like I'm not taking any chances, I guess. I could have drawn there, huh? They don't have guff, so I think you're okay. Yeah, it's like the stressful thing is some kind of milling, but I think we're fine now. Actually, at that point, I overplayed. They can't mill me. They can't mill away my maw anymore. So yeah, I guess I didn't have to play that bio. Okay, cool. I will have the Cthulhu this turn. Wow.
This must be the way. This must be the way.
My awakening brings a new age. Pray to your spagoo so your spagoo can eat potatoes. Looks like lethal to me. You should draw guff in the future, Pop-Tar Flight. Or Pop-Tar Fight. Missed achievement that you totally have, that's true. Yeah. Druiding around or hardly druiding? Hi, I wish for wings. Thank you so much for the couple bucks. I appreciate you. More Cthulhu Druid just for you? Exactly. Your deck is amazing. Thank you, friend. What deck would you recommend for climbing legend? Extra large Shadow Priest. I need help naming my new cat. It's a female black cat. Any cool names you can think of? You're supposed to name that Umbreon. I feel obligated to say that. I'm really tempted to craft this Cthulhu. Can you convince me otherwise? You will have nothing but fun with this deck, alright? So definitely shouldn't craft it unless you want to have fun. I don't know, you might not have fun with it. I really like it. Marshy classic. Umbreon is a fox. Is Umbreon a fox? I've always thought of them of like cat dogs. They're not really foxes, are they? I thought they were just something, you know, in those genres. Do you have a feral druid deck? I think is one of my most underused archetypes on Hearthstone. What is a feral druid deck? All of my decks are fairly domesticated, so. I don't know, I wanted to nurge. Okay. I think the evolutions are more so amalgams of furry animals. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my understanding. Yes, this is Questlock, it's true. We haven't given that its due attention. We are up against the dreaded Plotlock. Terror of the wild community. Oh my goodness, and it's a Galakron deck. That's how you know. Feral Rage, Transformation, and stuff. Feral Rage. Hearthstone. I mean, like, I don't have one that I've like themed around transforming into a bear. Hey, if I was gonna do that, it would be like Questline Druid. They played into Spreading Plague. That's true. They did play into Spreading Plague. They chose the worst deck to play into my Spreading Plague. Hello, Martian. I'm watching you on 6% battery. Hello, Doogie, for 6% amount of watching. Coldstone 3K. Morning, Marshy. Good morning, Coldstone. Thank you so much for the prime. And I'll have you know, my wife and I went to Coldstone yesterday. It's a nice ice cream. I enjoy it. Can I tell you about the Vaporeon lore? I can. Unfortunately. I won't. Alright. That's not guff. That's not guff at all. I was gonna make fun of Digi, and then I saw I had 16%. Don't know if you speak Spanish, but the guy above is asking for choose one quest druid. Oh, I see. I do not speak Spanish. And I do not have a choose one quest druid deck. Ow. 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 Am I gonna do this, I guess? You're hot. My opponent already has the fancy button active. Do I keep all my decks in a spreadsheet / note block? I do not. I do not. I have deck tracker that I have deleted periodically over the years in an attempt to make my computer run faster. Oh my goodness. Neat. Didn't get rid of any Cthulhu pieces. I would have uninstalled if that happened. Can we get a guff? Guff one time? No guff. But we can get a million new heights. Alright, chat. These heights are gonna be so crazy right now. Should I play this? I don't know. I guess I want to. I do subbed, though. Thank you so much for the 7 months, Frozen Hopes. I appreciate you. How are you? The problem with the choose one quest druid is you either don't run guff or you do, and why quest? Yeah. Why did Questline Druid fell off? Because Rake went to 2 mono. And Rake was really strong. And they took away Yogg-Saron. If they take this Cthulhu piece, I'm uninstalling. I'm just conceding if it's the Cthulhu piece. Actually, you know what? You know what? I have the ETC. I have the ETC with the Kill Jaden. We're okay. Chat, we're okay. Alright? Come on. Don't give up yet. I guess I'll play this. Oh. That's what you get. That's what you get. Doing good. Sadly, I can't stay for long as I have dinner and movie double date in 30-ish minutes. Well, that's awesome. Have fun. What movie? I was looking for movies yesterday, and I didn't see one that I wanted to watch. Okay, that's unfortunate. Kind of. So I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna do this in the wrong order. Unlucky, chat. Why am I so bad at Hearthstone all the time? Oh.
I will split your soul apart.
I bestow these gifts upon the world.
I'll miss you, that ANR, but having a new one in my hand is kind of nice. I'm just doing this to like get my 5/5s out because I want to kill them now before their Velen comes down. Remember last time I played a match like this and like I had the infinite, but then they play Velen and I had to hope for like one of a couple random outs. No clue what movie? Word. Will any sets leave standard as the new mini set releases? No. Oh my. What are they going to do? At the cinema, there's this Brazilian drama called I'm Still Here. Watched it this Thursday and it was really good. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Chat, if they don't clear this, I might win. I'm dangerously close to winning here. Dangerously close. Oh, unlucky. Do we have a nutty rando out if in KJ if they Velen? I think so. Man, I really should have done this first. I was just distracted. Chat, I thought I was going to play really well today. My plan was to have like a day where I just played really nice. It's just impossible for me now. I just don't have enough fun to like automatically pay attention, you know what I mean? I feel so checked out of everything all the time these days. Well, I want to play this, but I guess I'm going to play this. It's probably better. Do I think Velen is a problem in Wild? It seems so unfair, but it's kind of balanced in your opinion. It's so answerable by like things that decks just run. Like, I don't know. It would be different if you had to add like some weird tech to your deck in order to respond to it, but you don't. Like this deck would, right? We don't have a Velen. We're not hard running a Velen answer, but like Devolve, Amanthul, Reno Hero. Like they're like consume magic. There's so many decks are just running something that makes that deck fold automatically. Like what are what's the worst that can happen? I used all of my Savage Roars, unfortunately. So that's not good. Oh my goodness, Wombo combo, and then we can heal back to full. Chat. Oh my goodness, chat. Can you believe it? Remember when this was a real card? There's a demon with bounce and outcast? Yes. Yes, there is. Considering Villain summons a copy, what does it keep? Does it keep permanent stat changes? It doesn't, but it keeps keywords for some reason. Ah. It is actually a bit of an issue for me. That is a bit of an issue. How impactful do you think the Oracle nerf will be on Wild? I mean, like, it matters in a few decks. I think it's gonna have impact. I guess I don't really know the answer to how impactful specifically, but I think it'll have impact. Okie dokie. Goodbye, spreading plague. I will miss you. Alright, here, let's go. Random demons that ruin my opponent. Martian lose? Don't know yet. Don't know yet. We have a bit of armor. We have a bit of armor here. This resummons in between the seeds, right? Oops, forgot about that. Oop. That was not a good trade. Void Crusher has always been so stupid. Doesn't Poison Seeds beat Velen here? I think if it beat Velen here, then it wouldn't work with Mecha'thun the way that it does. I think the Death Rattle triggers before the card fully resolves.
The light will guide us through every corner of the cosmos.
I take it you decided to not finish reassembling your old god from IKEA? They Theatard one of my pieces. So I did not have that option, unfortunately. Oh, did they wield? So I'm on a clock now. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do at this point. Like, even if I got the thing that makes... I mean, can it get me Sargeras, or... No, it's not... It can't be randomly generated, right? Alright, I'm out. Does any demon have silence? There's a demon with a bounce effect. There's a demon with a bounce effect. That's it. What if I ran Bob? Man, Bob is such a good answer to this. It's true. We should just put Bob in. I don't know that I want to main board Bob, though. Just because, like, I don't want to add more minions. Adding more minions seems so bad. This is nice because now I have something in the ETC that is worth taking against aggro too. Do I think Colossal shouldn't be generated? No, I think it's fine that they're generated. Have I done a video with my thoughts on the mini set yet? I don't think I've seen anything from you. I'm going to make that video today. Live on stream. Do you still know how to make the imprisoned horror impression? Anyways, always cracks me up. I forget what that one is. I forget what it says. If I heard it, I would make my impression, but I don't have it ready to go. I'm sad we cut KJ. KJ pour one out. Unlucky. I could put in due process. I could do that. Yeah, I'm not sure I will, but I could. How strong do you think Cthulhu Druid is? It's the best deck I'm playing right now. All right, it's the best deck in this duel. I'm just assuming that it's better than Taurus Warlock, but you know, we may never know. I need Sticky Finger in this deck. It's true. It's true. Do you know Magic has 2 Sticky Finger cards? There's one called Old Stick Fingers, and I got close a couple times changing my Grist deck to be an Old Stick Fingers deck because it looks like it would be good with my game plan. Then I have to change all the insect stuff, so it seems like a project. But there's also another one that's just called Sticky Fingers, and it involves like stealing a minion temporarily or something. I forget. My buddy showed it to me the other day. It's not a popular card. Dude would be decent into Hostage Mage, but I literally haven't seen a Hostage Mage in ages. You know what? I haven't either. What are they all doing? What are they all doing, chat? Where did they go? Bob is fighting for the right to be main deck? I guess so. Oh wait, is this actually the nuts? Are they just gonna Elwyn bore me to death? There is a clock on this game, chat. There is an actual, like, very serious clock on this game. Ridiculous. Did I just lose? Chat, hold on. Did I just lose? For realsies. Oh my goodness. Where's my Bob? And by Bob, I mean... Actually, you know what? Bob would be nice. I take it back. 4+ Defile is lethal next turn? I guess so. Isn't that deck better with Priest? I don't know. It seems fast. Get to run Warlock removal and healing. Can't say for sure. I really do need sticky fingers in this match. Yeah, I need the old 1 mana stick fingers. Alright, chat. This is my last best hope for peace. Okay? Yikes. Alright. We not only, chat, not only do we have to survive 3 hits from that weapon and have them not play the weapon again, but also we have to re-ramp starting from then. Ooh. You think we can do it? We lost? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'll let them make another sword. No, I won't. We just lose. Never mind. They have more drinks. Good point. Good point. By the way, talking about sticky fingers, is Kingsbane not playable right now? I haven't seen one, and seems like a good matchup to decks like Hostage Mage. I played it. It seemed okay. Hi, Martian. I wanted to let you know that I think you're the best content creator in the stream. Well, thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. Hurt your feelings? Yeah, I'm right there with you. Fox 11. Feel like Kingsbane is a little slow and fragile. I mean, it's not like super good. I think it's fine though. Hey, Elk. Wow. Kingsbane also has the problem of ETC exists and slow decks. It wants to always have sticky fingers in there. I don't think that that's like a real reason why sticky finger wouldn't see, or why Kingsbane wouldn't see play. Yeah, I don't think like sticky finger has ever been a real deterrent. The only like sticky finger is a good way to make people who really enjoy Kingsbane like me not enjoy the deck, right? But it's not a good way to punish its overall win rate. Like, it's not even the best answer to that deck. It's like a... that's a revenge inclusion. It's not a good answer inclusion. I think Sticky Finger is more of a tilt card and discourages people from playing it. It didn't when, like, it is a tilt card, and it does, like, I agree with you that, like, people who are playing Kingsbane for the fun of playing Kingsbane are less likely to play it if there's a lot of Sticky Finger out there. But it did not impact the population. When Kingsbane was a strong deck, when it was a really good deck, Kingsbane was everywhere. So, like, it doesn't impact the population when the deck is good. So like when people are playing it because the deck is good, it's going to get played in a high population anyway. When people are only playing it for the fun of it, they'll definitely not play it if they run into too many sticky finger. I can tell you from personal experience. One expansion will have a card that gives your opponent a broken weapon and Mr. Fingers will be meta. That actually happened in Standard. There was the Evolved Shaman that used the Knuckles, or whatever it was called. I forget what that card is called, but the weapon that whenever you attack, it evolves all your minions. Sticky Finger was actually, like, people would run 2 of them because that deck was too strong, and you didn't have to just destroy the weapon, you had to make sure that they didn't have it anymore, and it wasn't destroyed. Because if it was destroyed, they would bring it back with that other pirate and keep wrecking you with it. So, like, Sticky Finger had this, like, niche little section in Standard where it was actually a good idea to play it. Bog Spy Knuckles, yeah. I think there was even a time when you would play Sticky Finger yourself in a Kingsbane deck. I mean, people do that because they're tilted, that they lost their Kingsbane weapon and they want a chance to steal it back. But you don't do that if you're trying to win more games. You do that if you're tilted. What is my opponent? They're scaring me. I saw Smudge put in her deck once. I did too. When she was tilted, yeah. And also importantly, match the curve because it was a 5-mana weapon. I mean, like, if Acidic Swamp Ooze would have done the job, you still would have run Acidic Swamp Ooze over it. I don't think that's a factor at all. It got played literally because you needed to keep it out of their weapon res pool. 100% of the reason why it was good in Standard. I think we died. I think we're about to Poison Seeds win. Game of all time. Opponent is throwing for content? I guess so. I think Cthulhu is favored in Tamale, no cap. I think you can out armor. Oh, interesting. Finally won 2 games. Here we are. Mastima.
Your sacrifice will be for naught.
Your sacrifice will be spaghetti. I bet opponent is Kingsbane to show you what's up. Alright, yeah. Gotta get my Sticky Finger in here. What's your first deck to 500 ranked wins with? Warlock? Warlock. I used Zoo and Handlock. Back in those days, I was spam Warlock all the time. Yeah. Hello, Martian chat. Hello, Anti-Fight. Uh-oh. Is my opponent running... What do I assume this is nowadays? Is it still Alex Rogue, if they do that? What else would it be? Ah, I was planning New Heights. Awful. Embarrassing, really. Disaster for the Martian Boo fans. So stupid. It's like I was talking and then I saw the whatever wild growth thing in my hand and assumed it was the right play. Assume Alex? Yeah, like what else would it be? Is there an amount of health that survives Alex, by the way? Oh, it could be Draka. Yeah, I knew there was something else it could be. Are we already dead? Let's see if we can get something more sure. Oh, nice. Fly true, Eye of Cthulhu. Oh my goodness. Unreal. I know, it's so rude. It's so rude. Bruh. Bruh, indeed. Does it deal enough? It deals like infinite, right? Like, surely it can deal with 41 health. We're dead if they do it right. Brutal. Hate to see it. You think they messed up? Alright. Fingers crossed. Looking like it did just fine to me. How sick would that game have been if our Eye of Cthulhu had actually hit? So sad. Remember when my games always just kind of worked out for content? Now I never get those content games anymore. I'm coming on the other side of the curve. It's brutal. So you need 49. I think they can do more than 39. Can't they? Is that really it? 49 or 48 is the amount they can do. But I have to be able to like get to be at 49 and then have an answer for the board, right? Like I have to remove all that stuff and or not remove it because then they'll just play more stuff. They have like a potion. We need to lose in order to win. I've been losing to garbage. I think I have to win in order to win. I think this deck is much better against real decks than it is against potato decks that I've been playing against. For the card images you get for thumbnails, do you make them larger or do you know a site where they are just massive size cards? I make them larger. Wow. 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 Guff literally always in the bottom 3. To be honest, they should have adjusted Cthulhu to 40 damage when Renathal rotated out. Yeah, I think that's cool. I'm into it. My opponent is a hater. That's my opinion. Based on my opponent doing this. I'm ruining my Guff play. Such a disaster. I hope they're happy with themselves. What's with all the Reno Lock today? I've seen a lot of Reno Lock decks. It's crazy. This is Sauce Day. Oh, hey, Guff. Hi, Guff. I kind of miss Hot Potato Druid. I should play more Hot Potato Druid. Really like that one. It's also really funny to me how, like, how many questions I get on that deck in the comments. So people just don't watch the video, right? And they just comment right away, how do you win with this? Yeah, the Hot Potato deck is, we use the ETC champion, like Elite Tournament champion, the finale one, and draw or ramp. I think draw. We need stuff. Elite Tournament champion is finale. You make the pick of destiny or whatever it is, and then each time a player spends all of their mana in a turn, you pass the pick to the opponent. So, hey, cool. Didn't need to uninstall. And so in order to be able to pass the pick, I was running all of the stuff that spends all of your mana, like the trees and whatnot. So it ends up being really funny. Like you can pass the pick, whatever, but then also you just beat your opponent down with gigantic monstrosities. Should I just play this, get out of my hand before they Theotar me? Can I play DK? I can. Will I play DK? Not today, but probably really soon. Probably play it on Tuesday. Chat, he keeps joking. Yay, I don't need to uninstall. It's true. I do. Brr, 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 brr. But you think I will? Uh-oh. What does the missing Murloc card do? From the new set? It's not missing. It's like a 8 for stats, like bad stats. And it summons 4 random Murlocs and then throws them at enemy minions randomly. It's like pretty awful seeming to me. But what do I know? What do I know? You choose the minion it hits? Oh, cool. You throw them at 1 minion? Do you think we'll get the monk class in Hearthstone? If yes, what will it be like? Maybe? I'm not sure. Like, DK has such strong, like, lore relevance, or like player sentiment, that one. You choose all the targets? Oh, cool. All right, that makes it a little more interesting.
This must be the way.
Do like the idea of 2 of these. I do like that idea. Oh, they deleted our ceaseless. The audacity. The virtue of the wild. Forgot about that. I'm trying to get stuff out of my hands so I can like sleep under the stars for cards. Now I could draw twice. If I refresh twice, could I play both of those? I could. Do I want to play both of those? I do. Oh, no, I can't. I could play one of those. Take it all back, chat. Take everything back. Okay. What if they just got a steam cleaner from the ETC? Yeah, that wouldn't be great. That would not be great for me. Goodbye, ANR. ANR the first. ba.
Reinforcements on the way.
This must be the way. This must be the way.
Unlucky. Oh wait, no, it's perfectly fine, right? We just didn't even need all this extra mana. We just get them. Now this feels like OG Cthulhu. I mean, obviously, like with all the discounts, it's different. But like Solar Moonlit, getting my Cthulhu Shattered, just like old times. Mm-hmm. 8, 13, 12. So we need at least one more. Maybe a couple more would be nice. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Bye. Oh, I never made coffee. You guys were supposed to remind me. Alright, I made coffee. I did put too much in, so it's like super full and hard to drink from. And that's my story about coffee. 60 damage in a turn, how is that fair? Good question. Hey Martian Stew, how come you never played against any of the crewmates? Is it just not wild viable, or are the cards not out? The crewmates. You mean against the Starcraft stuff? That's not out until Tuesday. More coffee drama, please? Alright, you got it. I will soon spill it on myself and be really upset. My opponent is too cool to die. Oh no. What am I supposed to do about that, chat? They didn't nerf... Did they nerf Dungar? No, right? They nerfed something about standard Dungar Druid, didn't they? Or am I tripping? Crewmate as in the Demon Hunter mechanic? I think it's what they meant. Like, maybe. But it's been so long, right? Like, they've been out for so long, I feel like it wouldn't make sense to wonder if they're just not out. But yeah, the crewmate cards aren't even good enough for standard. The 6 mana ramp. Dorian? Was Dorian played in the Dungar Druid deck? Cluster to 7. Alright. Was that enough? Is that deck not good? In standard? Too cool to die, gotta be hostage mage. I don't know, they have a Nerubian Weblord. So. It is dead? Interesting. Cluster, was that important? It's still good. Dungar on turn 5 is broken. Oh. Well, now I don't know what to believe. I'll assume Duji's lying to me. This lets me... Like, I could go draw 2 and then play this next turn if I want. Druid is fine. Does it still run the ramp card, like Cluster? Does it still get played? Chat, this coffee is way too full. Super irresponsible of me. They cut it? I remember thinking that was a weird card to nerf. Was it really good before? I have played in New Heights, right? Yeah. 8 mana, draw 6. Card of all time. It was the second best card in the deck in stats? Oh, wow. Crazy. Can you have some of the coffee? I wish. Chat, should we do a chat streamer meetup? Literally all of you and me meet up to do something cool together. What would we do if we all met? What would we do? What's a good thing for Martian chat to do IRL? Play Pokemon? MarshyCon? Alright. We're all going to MarshyCon. Let's peel potatoes? Alright, sick. You know, honestly, that would be pretty cool. Like, if we did some kind of charity thing. Like, We all gather together to feed people potato soup or something. That would be a sick reason to meet up if we were going to. Mega tournament? That's another good idea. What game are we going to play? Pokemon? Get drunk? Meet up in Mars. That's a good place. All right. All right, chat. This is what we're going to do. Everyone, we're going to meet up at Mars in 50 years. Okay? That's where we'll have MarshiCon. Get drunk and peel potatoes. Word. Thanksgiving 2075. Let's do it. This is totally happening now. I don't know.
My power grows.
Can we do it after Thanksgiving 2075? I'm busy that day. All right. No, we got to do it before. We can do it. We can do it the day before. How about that? When are you gonna summon Blue Eyes White Dragon? That's a good question. I have to figure that out. Do they still do fireside gatherings? No, they took those all down, didn't they? This is a strong deck right now. This is the strongest deck I'm playing right now, actually. It's actually too good. It's actually 3 good. If you can believe it. Alright. It can even beat Mono Worm Mage. Chat, remember when this was nerfed for like endless eons? No fireside? How will I get Nemsy? I think you can still do something to get Nemsy. But it's like you can set a local fireside something. My opponent is playing Hala. Remember when this was a real card, but it wasn't? Like in Twist New Age, when the Discover pool was so low that you would just always get this. Consume. Does Guff not like me anymore? Is that what's happening here? Copper plays Mono Worm in his mage deck, you think? That's cool. It's funny that it's been so, like, it was nerfed for so long, and when it finally got unnerfed, just, like, barely playable. Do you think Cthulhu is a big enough consumer that he'd like Costco? Probably. He'd probably eat the Costco. If that secret was Spellbender, you would have gotten riggedy wrecked. Well, it's a good thing it wasn't Spellbender, I guess. I'll get this. Should I get Renathal to trip up the, what you call it? I don't know. I'm gonna do this. And now I can draw 2, refresh 2, I guess. And I don't know, just play that. Can we have all the cards for a set or mini set revealed at all at once, like the Oopsie and Great Dark Beyond? Then the reveal show actual play on 2, the card would work.
On my right.
Is that Pasta movie? Can we have all the cards for a set or mini set revealed all at once, like the Oopsie and Great Dark Beyond, and then the reveals show actual play on 2, the card would work. On how the card would work. Oh, I need to use this for, need to use that for Tight Lip Witness. So... Oh, hey, Gaff, finally. Finally. Hope and life and happiness and armor! Armor as far as the eye can see. Soon. No, Marshy, I can't type. Mobile keyboard and my thumbs aren't on speaking terms. Oh no. I've never been a fan of the slow drip reveals personally. But I don't know, I guess people do like it. Some people do. My opponent is hitting me with lasers. Alright. So... It's not counterspell, right? No, it might be counterspell, I guess. What do I want to waste if it's counterspell? Wow.
I have seen creation, and I will bring destruction.
You think it's... Is this about to get explosive runes? It is. Huh. Potion of Polymorph? Okay. That's interesting. I don't... I like seeing people cook early with the whole package. I feel like it's more hype. Yeah, I mean, like, it's more fun for me to, like, have everything. Okay.
This must be the way. This must be the way.
Cool. My awakening brings a new age.
Presentation is everything.
My opponent has a pretty interesting deck. I'll give him that much. Seen a lot of cool decks today, I suppose. Is that like ice block number 2? Why not Aviana into play 2 of them? They have an they have a ice block here. And I can just do this. Oh, you know what though? Like I could have Aviana'd and play. I forgot this was I forgot I had changed it to Ashen Elemental. I was playing as if it was Tight Lip Witness. So it would have been worth playing Aviana just because this could have finished it off instead of the other Cthulhu, right? We didn't need to get 2 ETCs. Or whatever my plan was. Sick. Alright, yeah, Ashen's better. Like, Ashen is nice compared to Tight Lip Witness in this deck because Cthulhu doesn't do all of its damage at once. It does it in pings. So if you ping them down, you actually deal more damage with Ashen compared to Tight Lip Witness. If it was like, you know, if it was a big 30 chunk, we'd like Tight Lip Witness better because like if we do 30 damage in one go, the ice block is just going to block all that damage, right? So, but since it does it incrementally, Ashen actually increases the damage by 2, which is why we made that change. But yeah, I think I could have just had lethal previous turn if I'd remembered that it was Ashen over Tight Lip Witness, which is what I had in the ETC before. Ashen wouldn't work if they milled. It's true. How much we got now? 12, 17, 25, 35, 40. That is enough. All right. It's relevant against Ramoth. That's a good point. Ramoth does fill your hand completely sometimes, doesn't it? Well, no need to ever talk about it again. Wait. Can I not search for just the new cards and oh my goodness. How am I supposed to look at the Starcraft cards on the site? Chat. Well, what's going on here? Deck builder sort by newest. Oh. Card library, okay. Chat, I hate this site. Why is it like it could be good with a little bit of attention, but it's so bad? Where do I start by newest? Wouldn't it be somewhere? I think Hearthstone has a better page. This isn't Hearthstone. This isn't Hearthstone at all. Ash, 4-year badge win. Also, sorry about Snap. Hey, thank you so much for the 48 months, Ash. I'm not playing Snap. I haven't actually been playing Snap in like a year. But thank you. This is very bright. Ah, better. Reject all. And it has everything. It's even got the... Yep, it's got the grantee. I should do the neutrals first, right? And then talk about what the other things bring to the table. Hit the grunty? Oh no. Here, let me try doing this again really quick. To turn this off. You say mana low to high? That works? Oh, so okay, yeah. All right, cool. Thank you. Most recent. It's still just mixing it all up. All right, here's the IMIC one. Hi, IMIC. Or HIMIC for short. Wow, this is kind of cool. Tells you where we're going next. This is like kind of nice actually. Too bad we'll never use it. Just kidding. I guess we're done with you, Hearthstone. Me. Don't need that. What site is this? This is Hearthstone. If you press F11, should be full screen. Wow, you know what? IMIC, good job. Good job. A+ work. This is phenomenal. Wow. You can hide all the navigation site bars by hitting H on your keyboard. Wait, this is sick. IMIC. This is really good. Review start. Chat, I'm gonna go through this trying to have as little breaks as possible so I don't have to actually edit it. All right. So if I end up seemingly ignoring you guys a lot, I'm sorry. But I do still love you. Greetings, fellow humans. I'm Martian, and today I'm going to go through the new Starcraft mini set for Hearthstone and just talk about how good I think the cards will be, mostly for Wild, but also, I guess, for Standard if I think of it. But anyways, getting right into it, we have... So what's important about this one is all of these cards are faction specific, kind of like the gang cards from Mean Streets of Gadgetzan. You know how like Kazakus can only be used in 3 classes, even though it otherwise look neutral. So most of the neutrals from this set are only allowed to be used in very specific classes. And then the classes each have some cards that are of that faction, but can't be used in the other classes that can use that faction. So I think a good streamer would have had handy which classes are in which thing, but I am not, so we're just gonna get right into it. So Death Knight obviously here is one of the Zerg classes. This is the Zerg symbol here. And yeah, so Viper, it's a 4-mana 5/3 battle cry. Summon a minion from your opponent's hand. Your other Zerg minions attack, gain reborn, and attack it. So it's a dirty rat that also removes the minion. Summon a minion from your opponent's hand. Your other Zerg minion. So the Viper itself doesn't attack it. You have to have other ones to remove it. Interesting. I think it's good, like for a Zerg deck, probably, but it's an expensive dirty rat if you're just gonna run it on its own. But if you're gonna put this in your deck, you're probably running Zerg stuff anyway. So I don't know. I think it might be good. We'll have to look at the whole package to see if it'll be any good in Wild. Then we have Infestor. It's a 3 for 3/2. Death Rattle, your Zerg minions have +1/+1 for the rest of the game. Seems good. But yeah, it's not even cost, so we can't run even DK. And then there are only 2 Death Knight cards, huh? No, this is the Death Knight card. I thought it was a Demon Hunter card. I guess the green, like I was looking at the top there, where it shows the upcoming cards. It looked kind of green, like it matched Demon Hunter, but it is in fact a Death Knight card. So anyways, Infestor, this is obviously going to be really good when you have it like early on in Standard. Is it good enough for Wild? Probably not. I have seen the heroes, and I think the Kerrigan, the Zerg hero, is good enough to run on its own. So like that alone, I think we'll see some play in Wild. We'll get to that in a minute. But then as far as the supporting package, I don't know. Then we have get a 1/1 Baneling that explodes. If you control a Zerg minion, get another Baneling. What happens when it explodes? Get not summon. Okay, so like you play a 1 for 1/1 and then you get another 1/1 in your hand. I actually don't know what happens when it explodes. What happens when it explodes? Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. Okay, so you can hand buff it. That is kind of good, isn't it? That's the first one that seems like really good to me. You get a 1/1 that Death Rattle deal 1 to all enemy minions. Hand buff is fake, so I don't know that that's happening. But oh, you know what though? Your Zerg minions have +1/+1 for the rest of the game, so this becomes a 2/2 if you've had one of those die. So this seems like standard cool. I'm still not seeing it in Wild, especially because you can't run it all even. But it's interesting. It's gonna be fun to make, I think, at least. We'll see what the like neutral Zerg stuff is. So then for Demon Hunter, we have Lurker, which is a favorite minion of mine. So I used to, like, I didn't really get into StarCraft 2, but StarCraft 1 and its expansion Brood War, I was way into as a kid. I've played it so many hours of it. And Zerg was my favorite, and Lurker is one of my favorite minions. So these guys dig underground and they shoot spikes at enemies. So after a friendly minion attacks, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. Or 2 if your minion is a Zerg. So it's a 4 for 2/6, which is pretty decent. After a friendly minion attacks, deal 1. So when it attacks, it matters too. To a random enemy, so it can go face. Isn't this good? It triggers on any minion, and then just does more damage if it's a Zerg. So yeah, that seems good. Then we have Mutalisk, 4 for 5/2, also damages minions next to whomever this attacks. That seems pretty whatever. And the hero if a neighbor is missing. The hero if a neighbor is missing. Does this work like if your opponent only has 1 minion out? If your opponent has no minion, also damage minions next to whomever this attacks, and the enemy hero if a neighbor is missing. It doesn't deal 20 damage if it goes face on an empty board, does it? Only deals damage once. Okay, so like if you're attacking to a single minion, it's not dealing 10. It'll do just 5 to the enemy hero. All right. So this is like the best version of this effect, but it's pretty fragile, right? So I'd be surprised if this was even good enough for standard, but we'd have to look at the rest of the cards first. Like a 5/2 is pretty, like 4 for 5/2 is pretty weak. That's gonna die. Can we give it rush? Your Zerg minions have +1 attack and rush. Okay. all right. Yeah, I can see it. The name of this card has entitled so many people to be annoying. The day this got revealed, my Twitter was full of people being obnoxious. Ugh. Anyways, your Zerg minions have +1 attack and rush. How good is this generally? Seems pretty good with Lurker. And this is not a good card on its own. Becomes a decent card with this. So I think this sees play if you need a certain amount of Zerg density, or if there are other ways to conveniently give rush. And I guess standard has the finale card, right? So, yeah, maybe. Still not saying anything for wild. On to Druid. Druid has Protoss. This is the Protoss symbol. I think there are 2 more Zerg ones, so they're not all in order based on faction, but they're in order based on class, which makes sense. So more Zerg to come, more Zerg classes to come. So this is an Immortal. It is a 7 mana 5/8 mech. Taunt, Divine Shield, Battlecry, spend 4 mana to double this minion's stats. So you'll notice that that's 11 mana. A lot of the Protoss cards have effects that discount your other Protoss cards. So, including the hero, which just adds a flat 2 mana discount to all of your Protoss minions. So, this thing is not going to cost 7 when you actually play it. So, that's how you can get the total 11 mana you need to double its stats. Taunt, Divine Shield, and then if you pay the 4 extra mana, it's a 10/16. I mean, if you activate that, it's really strong. I'm probably going to have some fun with this. Then we have Carrier, which is 12 mana. Again, like the Protoss are designed to be discounted. At the end of your turn, summon 4 4/1 interceptors that attack random enemies. I like that as far as like being flavor fun. I'm kind of excited to play this. Protoss was my second favorite class, and like amassing carriers was the most fun thing to do in Protoss. So that's a pretty cool effect. Like you would just go around with your dozen carriers, and there'd be this giant sea of moving like things attacking the enemies. It was pretty fun. At the end of your turn, so 4/1s. Attack random enemies. The fact that this can go face means it's likely going to not clear the board sometimes. But like the fact that it can go face means it's like ridiculous pressure, right? So yeah, you can get this out. Like it has 14 health. It has 14 health, chat. Is this going to be a monster in standard? I guess like standard is full of really easy removal, right? Like we've gotten a bit trigger happy with the single target removal. Opponent just bobs this. But yeah, there's so many ways to cheat this. I can't imagine you want to play it from hand basically ever. But don't they have like a bunch of discounts? They have like a mega discounts for this. I don't think it's gonna be hard to get this in play whether you cheat it or not. So anyways, yeah, seems good. So yeah, here's the preparation for Protoss stuff. Your next Protoss card this turn costs 2 less. All right, seems good. All of those seem good. Like that's like this alone, knowing the hero, I think is enough to make me want to play a Protoss Druid deck in Wild. Like it's gonna be good enough for a Marshy video for sure, but I don't know how like competitive it's gonna be. So then we're back to Zerg. So Hunter is Zerg also. Hydralisk, Marshy's favorite Zerg minion ever. It's a 3 for 4/2. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each other Zerg minion you control. Huh. I know that there's like Zergling is 1 mana summon a Zergling. So it's going to be pretty easy just to have Zergs out. Yeah, like Wolpertinger. So that could be good. And it's 3 mana instead of 4 mana, which I think is the last time I saw an effect like that. So, I don't know. I think this will be good. Will it be good in Wild? Probably not. We'll see, though. Roach. So 2 for 2/2. When you draw this, get a copy of it. Oh, it's not a beast. I was like, if this is a beast, it's already... Well, not already better than Mule for, like, Harpoon Gun. But if you control another Zerg minion, game +1/+2. I think, like, all the Zergs would have to be beasts. Why aren't the Zergs beasts? But they'd all have to be beasts, and you have to run, like, a few of them, I guess, for it to beat out Mule for Harpoon Gun's shenanigans in Wild. But, I don't know. Funny. They're really going for the hand buff thing with this, huh? Give your minions +1 attack. Give your Zerg an extra +1/+1. So give your Zerg minions +2/+1 for 2. I don't know. It seems kind of mid by standard, by like modern standards. Meh. I'm not like, I like the Hydralisk. I'm not really excited about the other 2 Hunter cards. All right, then back to Protoss for Mage. So again, like all the Protoss have a discount this type of synergy thing going on, and it's not just limited to Druid where you would normally expect that type of stuff. So now we have a 12 mana thing that requires other cards to discount it. So deal 1 damage to all enemies twice. Improved by Protoss spells you cast this game. And so that improves the damage it deals, right? Like, it's not going to do 2 damage 3 times or anything, right? It's just literally just the damage. So if you cast a couple, you're dealing 6 damage to all enemies. Seems not bad, honestly. Like if you can get it in play, obviously. Deal 5 damage to a minion and get a random Protoss spell. Pretty good, especially because all the other ones seem to be pretty cheap, right? Like 3 mana, get a cheap spell. Seems good. Yeah. Gain 6 armor. Your next Protoss spell costs 2 less. So we're relying on the neutrals to get this playable. Interesting. It doesn't have anything that discounts your minions. Well, yeah, like you have Artanis is going to discount it, but like, is Warp Gate, is that a neutral? Probably. 2 for 6 armor in Mage? Huh. I feel like a spell that just gives you a flat amount of armor, no like tricks attached, no need to interact with anything, that gives you like a set amount of flat armor. That's not magey, right? That's warrior armor. And it's not even frosty, right? Like the reason mage has armor is because of ice barrier. Why does mage have this? This card is not, there's nothing magey about this card. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know why I'm caring about flavor that's down the tubes. Class flavor rather. All right, so on to Terran finally. So this is our first Terran one. This is Paladin. So 4 for 4/4 mech. Your other minions have +1 attack. Transforms if you've launched a starship this game. So your other minions have +2 attack and rush. So if you've launched a starship, the Terran stuff has ways to launch little tiny starships. You mean Mage has ice barrier, but that's like a secret, right? Like it's a flat amount of armor, but there's a little trick to it. You know, just giving like a flat armor effect is. I guess they have that one like skeleton Nathria card. Like I don't know why that has armor on it. Cold case, yeah. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like Mage design to me at all. Anyways, so your other minions have +1 attack. Transforms if you launch a starship. So if you've launched a starship, it's +2 attack and rush. Whereas this is not rush. And the Terran stuff launches little mini starships, so it's like easier to launch a starship in this than it is in other stuff, I think. So this seems good if it's easy to launch a starship, right? Like that's pretty good. But if it's hard to launch a starship, it's obviously horrible. So this is a starship piece. Gain +1/+1 for each other friendly minion. Also triggers on launch. Remember when like that stupid wolf thing? It wasn't Wolf Rider. It was Frost Wolf something. It was like 5 for, was it a 4/4? And it gained +1/+1 for each other friendly minion. It was a 4/4. Okay, Frostwolf Warlord. Okay, and that saw a brief amount of play after the nerf of level up in Odd Paladin. It's pretty funny. But it has that exact same thing. This has that exact same text, except 3 mana cheaper. How good is it going to be for 3 mana cheaper? I imagine not very, right? There's a 2 mana version with tradable. That one is off of enemy minions. The tradable one that gets +1/+1 for each minion is enemy minions. Enemy minions and friendly minions are 2 very different asks. And this is much better. So, no, it's friendly. Oh, the neutral one. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking of the Ring of whatever Paladin card that costs the same as this. But yes, there's one that costs 1 more with tradable in neutral. That's true. And that was like the worst card in Odd Paladin when it came out, right? Like Odd Paladin was briefly real in Stormwind when that card was released, and until they nerfed Battlegrounds, Battlemaster, and Conviction. It was like, it felt mid in that deck. But anyways, how good is this? I don't know. Probably not very. But like the fact that it re-triggers when you launch a starship, right? Like it's a decent starship piece. It's just not a good card on its own, I don't think. So then we have Salvage the Bunker. 3 for summon 2/2/2 Marines with taunt. Your next starship launch costs 2 less. 2/2/2 Marines with taunt. Your next starship launch costs 2 less. Seems good, right? It's like slightly boring stats, but sets up your launch to be cheap, and you need to be launching for your cards to work. So, yeah. All right, more Protoss. This time for Priest. Again, it's a 12 mana. You're meant to discount it. So it has Taunt, Battlecry. It's a 10/10. Wow. Taunt, Battlecry, and Death Rattle. Get 2 random Protoss minions. Okay. So you get like the giant minions. I forgot about these like cheapy rogue ones. Huh. Cool. Also, something of note, all these 12 mana minions, if you bob a a mountain giant, it's going to transform into them, right? So you can turn your 8/8 mountain giant into a 10/10 taunt with Death Rattle, get 2 random Protoss minions. And what were the other ones? This is pretty... This will be like a downgrade, right? I guess it'll be situational. Like if you bob your mountain giant, it's like easier to remove, but the effect is nice. And then this is just cracked. You just win if this happens. If you bob your... Recombobulator transforms your... sorry, I'm saying Bob, but like Bob is a real card now. We used to call Recombobulator Bob. Recombobulator transforms a minion into another random one of the same cost. So like, imagine evolving a Snowflare Giant. True. It's unknown if you can evolve into Starcraft minions if you don't start with one in your deck. Interesting. Well, assuming you can, that's so far it's 2 out of 3 really good rolls. Okay, then we have summon a copy of a friendly Protoss minion. It takes double damage. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Lifesteal, Death Rattle, your Protoss minions cost 1 less this game. Wow. For Mage and Priest, the discount seems really minimal. We'll see what the neutral Protoss cards are. All right, then on to Rogue, which is also Protoss. We have Dark Templar, Stealth, Battlecry, destroy an enemy minion, and then if you play another Templar, they merge into an Archon. So 6 for 5/3 Stealth, Battlecry, destroying enemy minions seems like standard solid as of like 2 years ago, at least. I don't know. But we have extra synergy. So at the end of your turn, deal 8 damage to the enemy hero and 2 damage to their minions. That's pretty good. So there are 2 different types of Archons. Starcraft 2 didn't believe in Dark Archons, so they just had all the Templar turn into Archons. In Brood War, your High Templar, when you merge them, they would become an Archon, and your Dark Templar, when you merge them, would become a Dark Archon. And you could use the Dark Archon to steal enemy minions, and it was really fun. And what I really liked about doing that was I would steal an SEV from Terran opponents and a drone or whatever it was called. It's called a drone, right? Whatever the basic unit was from the Zerg, and then I could use those to build all of the Terran and Zerg structures. So I could build my own command center and then use a queen to infest the command center without having to steal my opponent's command center to do it as Zerg. So that was my funny Dark Templar shenanigans. But they didn't bring the Dark... That was my funny Dark Archon shenanigans. But they didn't bring that back for StarCraft 2, at least as of when I was playing. They all just all merge into Archons, like is what's happening here. Anyways, so if you get... This one is 6 for 3/5, so it's the opposite stats. And it's... Deal 2 damage to all enemies on a battle cry, which is something. They seem expensive for Rogue. But yeah, if you can get any 2 of them out, you get this thing. And this thing is pretty good, right? At the end of your turn, deal 8 damage to the enemy hero. It's an 8/8, and you deal 2 damage to the minions. So I hope that's decent. Then we have Blink, which is... Okay, the funny thing about Blink, chat, is Blink is an iconic Warcraft mage spell. Blink should have been especially considering that Mage is also doing Protoss, Blink 100% should have been a mage spell if they were going to do it. But, you know, Warcraft flavor, who cares these days, I guess. So 2 for draw a Protoss minion, combo it costs 2 less. Oh yeah, like I was I was thinking about casting these for their raw cost, but whatever the neutral discounts are will probably apply to them just fine. So, yeah, you draw a Protoss minion, and especially if you keep it to just these 2, you know, you'll pretty consistently get your Archon out. I don't know, it's cute. Then we have Shaman, which is also Terran. Giving Terran to Shaman is interesting, because I feel like Shaman is very Earth magic. Like, Shaman is very Earth magic. They're not very, like, Rogue. I feel like Rogue and Hunter and Warrior and I guess Paladin are the 4 like most Terran-y feeling classes. I don't know. Like a mage class getting Terran is interesting. Like nothing, or like a magic class getting Terran is a choice. But I don't know. So Siege Tank, it's a 5 for 5/5 mech, deal 10 damage to a random enemy minion, and then if you've launched a starship this game, it transforms into the deployed Siege Tank, which deals 10 damage to a random enemy and the excess damage enemy minion, and the excess damage hits the enemy hero, which seems pretty good. So as long as you can reliably launch a starship before you want to play this, then I think this is going to be a really, really good minion. Siege Tanks are my dad's favorite minion from StarCraft. Or I don't know that they're his actual favorite. He just used them a lot because they were good in StarCraft Brood War. They're like, they could sit really far away and just like ping your base from a reasonable distance. I don't know that, like, so they had like mediocre attack stats while they were in this form, and then they could like slowly bring their little legs out and make themselves unmovable, and that's when they would be in this deployed state. Like, you can see the little clamps there. So the idea is to get your siege tanks in a position to where it's hard for the enemies to immediately interact with them, and deploy them to deal an unreasonable amount of damage from an unreasonable distance away. So that's what's happening here. Hold on. Then we have Missile Pod. So 2 for 1/3 mech, star piece, deal 1 damage to all enemies, also triggers on launch. That's super modest. Man, 2 for 1/3 mech, deal 1 damage to all enemies, battle cry seems like a really good card a few years ago. Now I'm like, I guess it's okay. Is there any way to get poisonous on a mech in wild? It's only in Hunter, right? Oh, it's the little spark bots can do it. So yeah, you can build your own Flurgle Toxman if you're lucky. Cool. Then lock on, set a minion's health to 1. Your next starship launch cost 2 less. Set a minion's health to 1. Isn't that a very Paladin effect? Paladin has Terran too. It's weird. It's weird what's happening here. Set a minion's health to 1. Your next starship launch. Oh, but it combos, right? Like you can, you know, for 2 mana, you can do those two together. All right. Interesting. I think there's a starship piece that gives keywords. Oh, maybe. Rip Hunter's Mark? True. Hunter's Mark still costs 1, right? Like, it never got unnerfed to 0, but it did get unnerfed from 2. Yeah, this effect in Hunter with no, like, minus the starship part, that was, that got nerfed to 2 mana at one point. Crazy, because of the stupid kobold candle. All right, back to Warlock, or back to Zerg, rather, this time for a Warlock. Remove 1 durability from a friendly location to restore 8 health to your hero. Remember when Chamber of Viscidus or whatever it was a 2 mana location with 3 durability? Ridiculous. Anyways, that seems good if there's a location worth playing with it. You try not to remember? Okay, fair. 3 for Ultralisk Cavern. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. Has 3. So every time you use it, you deal 1 damage to all enemies. And then Death Rattle, summon an 8/8 Ultralisk with Rush. Huh. It was pointed out to me that this doesn't have Cleave. And yeah, it should have Cleave, right? Because they have Cleave in the game. But yeah, you want to race through this, right? So like this becomes a really good card with it. I'm not really getting the flavor. Like you're consuming the Ultralisk Cavern juice, whatever. This could almost be wild playable, to be honest. Right? Because like deal 1 damage to all enemies is already okay, but getting to power through it and heal yourself for 8 in order to summon the 8/8 with Rush, maybe. 2 for 1/6 can't attack. Has +3 attack if you control a location. So this is, it has taunt. So this is like awful. So bad. Oh man. I mean, like, you know, that once upon a time, this was good, right? Maybe I'm underselling it. Because like, if you're a slow Warlock and you want to have something to play against, no. I keep like having to tear myself away from the conditions for Tar Creeper, right? I'm conditioned to process this effect as a Tar Creeper effect, but it's not on your opponent's turn. It's if you have a location. So yeah, I don't know. Having a location is a big ask, I think. Interesting. I don't know. We'll see if there's more locations. I actually forget. Wait. So in standard, this is all you have. Oh, but there's a neutral one. There's a neutral location. So you run 2 of these in standard. I think it gets a little better in standard at least. But like, I don't get the sense that aggro is really a thing in standard the same way it is in wild. And I would want Spinecrawler for anti-aggro, not anti-mid-range. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Then we have Thor. So deal 5 damage. It's an 8 for 8/8 mech. We're into Warrior now, which is also Terran. It's not neutral, just shared for Zerg. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been talking about them in the context that they're neutral Zerg stuff. Like, I know that only the Zerg classes can play it, but that's just how I've been talking about it. We covered that at the beginning. So 8 for 8/8 mech, deal 5 damage, transforms if you've launched a starship this game. So deal 5 damage, and then so if you've launched a starship, it will repeat for each starship you've launched. I think this is a StarCraft 2 minion. Sorry. So I'm not super familiar with it. Like, I don't have like a lot of nostalgia for it, but like it's a giant thing and it transforms a little bit if you've done something. Yeah, I don't know. But so deal 5 damage. Repeat at a random enemy. So you only get to direct the first 5. The rest is random. I smell something bad. It seems duty to me. So I've seen the criticism that you actually don't need this to transform. Like, it could just say... the card is functionally the same, right? Like, it could just say... repeat at a random enemy for each starship you've launched this game. But like, I don't know. It shows you that you've launched a starship this game. I think it's fine. I don't like. It seems like a funny thing to criticize, frankly. Like, it does do something different if you've launched a starship. It just does it again each time you launch a starship. Seems like a pretty... who cares? It's fine that it transforms. Anyways, Yamata Cannon. So the Yamata Cannon, the big fancy battle cruiser from Starcraft, has this big like cooldown it can use that deals a ton of damage. And this is it. So what you could do is you could get a bunch of battle cruisers ready and bring them all at once to your opponent's like main structure and use all of their Yamata cannons at once, and then make it so that they can't like harvest any resources and stuff, or however you want to do it. It was pretty fun, pretty cool. So it's a starship piece, and you destroy a random enemy minion. Also triggers on launch. That seems okay. Battlecry, destroy a random enemy minion. 4 for 3/3. That's fine, right? It's like good several years ago, but like fine as far as like a synergy piece. I don't know. Seems like both of these seem a little honest to me, not gonna lie. Then we have concussive shells. So 1 for deal 2 damage and gain 2 armor. Rip sword and board. Your next starship launch costs 2 less. That's cool. So I always like to run sword and board in like control-y warrior decks in Wild, because you can hit your own Barov with it. You can either use it to remove some like shadow aggro priest minion, or you can use it on your own Barov to clear the board. It's kind of versatile for that reason. But so yeah, it's gonna make Barov a nice thing to run with this in whatever Marshy video where I play Starship Warrior. Your next starship launch costs 2 less. Yeah, it seems decent. Then we have Grunty, which is the only true neutral in the whole set. So all the other neutrals are like faction neutrals. Every class within the faction can use them. Grunty is actually neutral. You can run it in any class. So 8 for 3/4, summon 4 random Murlocs, then shoot them at enemy minions. You pick the targets. So it's like the what you call it? It was a Dead Minds minion. 8 for 8/8, choose 4 things, deal 2 damage to them. So it's like that. Do you get them first and then you shoot them, right? Huh. Sneed, thank you. Yeah. I don't know. This might be better than Sneed. Does the average does the average Murloc have more than 2 damage? Because like Sneed felt almost playable when it came out. It felt like just shy of good. So I'm trying to think of like this would be decent removal in standard, but I'm not sure. If you get Cookie in standard, you're cooking. Yeah, the new Cookie, the one that transforms dead minions into something else. This card is Giga Trash. How dare you? I don't know. I think it might, like, the fact that if Murlocs average more than 2 damage, like, I could see this being good. But I'd have to, like, look at the, well, here we have the average Murlocs. So 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 6, 3. 3 could make your other ones good. 2, 1, 1. Not looking good. 2, 1. This would get buffed depending on the order. So 1 plus 4, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. Yeah, I think this kind of sucks in standard, to be honest. It seems like it's going to average 2. So it's like worse Sneeds, except that it has like upside, right? So it's probably better than the Sneeds, frankly. But not enough, I would assume. Who knows? Then we have Kerrigan. Kerrigan is the one faction hero that I think is just good enough to play on its own. I think it's just a good card. So this is, what are we? Warlock, Death Knight, Demon Hunter, and Hunter. Or Zerg. Oh, it says right here. That's so handy. All right. So a 7 mana hero card. Summon 2/2/5 Brood Queens and deal 3 damage to all enemies. So you're already dealing 3 damage to all enemies. 3 is like the perfect number to be decent. Like if you deal less than 3, it feels like you're missing a lot of things. But as long as something does 3 damage to all enemies, it feels like it clears a lot of boards. So it's got that going for it. It's a good breakpoint. It also summons 2/2/5 Brood Queens, which at the end of your turn, you get a larva that transforms into a random Zerg minion. So you get, like, each turn, they're giving you one of these larvae. Each of them is giving you cards. So they're pretty decent bodies, and you're guaranteed to get 2 of them right away. So 3 damage to all enemies, including your opponent's face, 5 armor, 2/2/5 bodies that both give you card advantage. Already really good. And then the hero power is deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies, improved by Zerg minions you control. So if you're using this on 9, it's already dealing 5 because it just comes with 2 minions. If you didn't have any board presence before. So I think this card is nuts, frankly. Like in standard, I think it's going to be disgusting. So I don't know. I would expect this card to get nerfed. I think it's really good. Then we have a Zergling. So it's a Zerg neutral. 1 for 1/1 Battlecry, summon a copy of this. It's literally Wolpertinger. Play it on 8 with this. I don't know. No, play it before this and then play it on 9, I guess. I don't know. Just like after you play that on 7, you just play this any turn that you're going to use the hero power. You get a bunch of extra damage. It's crazy. So is this something you can just run? Or is it exclusively a token? So you can just play this in all the Zerg decks? Is this good enough to play on its own? Summoning 2 of them alongside Kerrigan and her many other good effects seems great. Do you really want to drop one of these on 3? Maybe you do, honestly. Maybe you do. Like, in standard at least. Seems kind of okay. Because, like, you want to have Zerg minions out for your various Zerg stuff, so. And, like, some of the Zerg minions are good. So, as the larva transforms, maybe you get something really nice. Then we have Nidus Worm. 3 mana, draw 2 Zerg cards. They cost 1 less. Alright. This is like Arcane Intellect, tutor your Zerg stuff. And discount it. Seems okay. Why is Kerrigan so angry? Kerrigan has a lot to be angry about, Guapo. Alright, so spawning pool, neutral location, you get a 1/1 Zergling. So you get this Zergling. And this isn't just a token, right? Yeah. It wouldn't show up in the top if it was just a token, I don't think. And then Death Rattle, your Zerg minions have Rush this turn. And Demon Hunter cared about making your minions have Rush. So that's 2 things you can run that gives your Zergs Rush. And the Zergling is pretty good. Get a Zergling. You get 2 Zergling with this. It's pretty decent. And a lot of cards care about having multiple Zerg. So I think getting a Zergling is good, right? Yeah, that's good. The Zerg decks are going to go hard in Standard. I should play Standard when this comes out. So that's all the Zerg stuff. Artanis. I also think this one is pretty decent. So 7 mana, summon 2 3/4 Zealots with charge. Already pretty decent enough, just like by a couple years ago Standard. the game has gotten a little away from 2, 3, 4 chargers by now, so I don't think that's enough to carry the hero card on its own. But your Protoss minions cost you less this game, so it's an important discount for all the Protoss synergies. 2 for give a friendly minion and your hero +1 attack this turn and Divine Shield. This is actually the first time I'm reading this hero power. Is that good? Poor, what you call him? Alakir, the wild exclusive one. Give a friendly minion and your hero +1 attack this turn and Divine Shield. That seems pretty decent. Note that the Zealots are 3 mana Protoss cards, so they're 1 mana with an Artanis discount. All right, I'll think about that. This seems pretty good with Rogue, right? Like, you play this and then your Templar costs nothing. Void Ray, 3 for 3/1, Rush, Divine Shield, Battlecry. If this costs 0, gain +2/+2. Interesting. Rush, Divine Shield, 3/1 for 3 seems like, I don't know, that, like, compare that to the first Rush minions that were introduced in Wishwood. We've come a long way, huh? But yeah, so if you can get this to 0, it's a 5/3, which doesn't seem that hard. But also, I think that's one of the big differences between Artanis and Kerrigan is, like, if you don't get Artanis or other similar cards, your cards just don't work. Whereas, like, the Zerg stuff just kind of functions okay. All right. Then we have a 4-cost spell, draw 2 Protoss cards, summon a 3/4 Zealot with charge. Huh. I mean, that's good, isn't it? You draw 2 Protoss cards and then you summon a 3/4 Zealot with charge. You can prep it out. Isn't this good? Seems good to me. I guess I'm kind of only thinking about it in the context of Rogue. Huh. I don't know. It seems kind of cool. The other stuff is so slow, right? Like 3/4 charge. How well does that fit with discount your 12 mana minions so that they're playable, right? It seems like it clashes a bit, right? Yeah. Warp Gate, your next Protoss minion costs 3 less. That's really good. Has 3 charges, you can stack them. Yep, and it's a good card. It's a necessary card. I feel like the Druid is going to have a really easy time making its big minion playable, and Priest and Mage are going to have a tough time. Like, if you don't draw, like, very specific things, they're just sitting in your hand doing nothing for so long. So, I don't know. I have faith in the Druid one, I guess. Photon Cannon, 2 for deal 3 damage. If it kills a minion, your Protoss minions cost 1 less this game. Is that a game changer? Oh my god. Like, I feel like the Rogue Protoss is going to be okay, right? I don't know that you even run Warp Gate in that. You just run this. Maybe you do. I don't know. You probably run Warp Gate. You probably do. But I don't know, the Rogue ones seem pretty playable. You just use Scoundrel. I forget what Scoundrel does. Anyways, Terran. So Jim Raynor, 7 mana for Battlecry. Relaunch every starship that you launched this game. Yeah, too bad Priest can't run it. We'd play Okay, so it was made known to me that Starship, like, Priest is the only class that isn't going to have Starship synergy, and after this mini set. And it's so funny that the only wild Starship deck is Starship Priest. the only class that didn't get specific support. So we use the 4 mana neutral star piece that Death Rattle gains armor, and we just keep resummoning it over and over and over again, and stack like a jillion armor. That's how you play Starship Priest. But it's the only deck that's manifested in Wild whatsoever. Mage doesn't have it though. I believe you. I don't remember. SCV, so 1 for 1 3 mech. Your next Starship launch costs 2 less. Okay. Ghost, so 4 for 6/2. Stealth, battle cry. If you're building a starship, destroy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand. Is this good? Oh yeah, I didn't actually go over the full of Jim Raynor. My bad. I'm sorry. Summon a 2/2 Marine with taunt. Give your Terran minions +2 attack. This kind of feels like Alakir-esque, where the first one doesn't, like the battle cry doesn't really mesh with the hero power. Like the hero power is good, but yeah, as far as like making a swarm deck with Jim Raynor, but like then you have to, if you're gonna build a swarm deck, are you really building your deck to be starshipy? I guess you are, right? Because it's only buffing Terran things. So, and all the Terran stuff involves starships, so maybe you are. I feel like I need to play with this one. Artanis, I can really grasp how good it is. Kerrigan just seems like cracked in any deck with or without Zerg. But I'm having a hard time visualizing this manifesting. So yeah, next Starship launch costs 2 less. So this has battle cry. If you're building a starship, destroy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand. If we're doing like a rush down your opponent deck, do we want to play a 4 for 6/2 with stealth? I don't know that we do. I mean, it might be good. And like, depending on how these play out, you might just have to cram every Terran card in every Terran deck. So maybe this is good. Starship Shutter Shaman. Oh yeah, we could Starship Shutter Shaman. Just delete our opponent's hand with Ghost. I'm in. I'm ready. All right. 3 for Liftoff. Draw 2 Terran cards. So this one draws Terran cards, not just minions like the other ones do. Summon a 2/1 star piece with an effect when launched. So these have like specific little tiny binky effects. So when this is launched, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. When this is launched, deal 2 damage to all enemies. So are these like their own starship? How much do these cost to launch? Is it the same? It still costs 5? This is launched, deal 2 damage to all enemies. When this is launched, gain 3 random bonus effects. This is launched, gain 7 armor. That's a lot of armor. When this is launched, summon 2 2/2 Marines with taunt. And there's our Marine with taunt. Interesting. I feel like I'm not understanding something about these, but anyways. Summon a 2/1 Starship piece with an effect with launched. So these are just, they're summoning all the like various like ships that the Terrans have is what these are. So you can get them from Starport, you can get them from Liftoff, and that's it. We've gone through all of it. All right. I do think I might struggle with Terran. I'm not 100% sure, because like some of the Terran cards seem pretty weak sauce, and like they rely on the Starship mechanic, which has proven to be a tough sell for Wild. So we'll have to see. The fact that they discount launching matters. But like the Zerg deck, for one, I don't know what Zerg class I'm most excited about. It might be Demon Hunter, honestly. Like the Lurker seemed really cool to me. I do like Baneling Barrage. I like Viper. Hard to say. Like, I'm really excited for to play Zerg at least in standard. I'm gonna build all these all these things in Wild, right? And other than maybe Terran, I think it's gonna be good enough for like my style of content. I'm pretty happy about that. I think the easiest deck, like full on, the best card in the mini set, I think, is Kerrigan Hero card, because that you can just play it on its own and it's good. But as far as like which of these packages am I going to have the easiest time building in Wild, it's definitely going to be Druid. Like, this stuff seems so playable to me. And this card is really good. And so yeah, I don't know, but like it doesn't look game changing, right? So what can run Kerrigan? Hunter can run Kerrigan. Hunter isn't a deck in Wild. Death Knight can run Kerrigan, not a deck in Wild, although it could be. Like, we could run it in like just Blood Control as a value card. And then Warlock, yeah, I could see a Renathal Zerg Warlock maybe. And then, but not like meta, just marshy stuff. And then Demon Hunter, which again isn't a deck in Wild. So I think Kerrigan might see play in Wild, but I don't think the Zerg is going to manifest in Wild. And I don't think any of this is going to be like meta. I don't really see a meta Starcraft deck in Wild for sure, but I could definitely see some meta Starcraft archetypes in Standard. Like, I think a couple of these, like the Druid, Rogue, a couple of the Zerg classes, maybe DK, Demon Hunter, Hunter, maybe Warlock, probably not. Could see play in Standard. The Terran one, I just like, I don't know. I'm gonna guess no, but the Terran Warrior, I think, Warrior is starting to feel to me kind of like Druid, where it has the defensive tools necessary that, like, if I want to play something goofy in Warrior, I can do it. So I have some faith that I could pull Terran off in Wild with Warrior. But yeah, I think that this is the only like real card in this set as far as Wild is concerned. But I don't know what deck it would go in. And that's the last of my video. Follow, subscribe, and tell all your friends to watch my stuff. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And video. All right. I actually did this all before Renee got home. Ba, 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 ba. She hasn't even texted me that she's on her way. Huh. She must be leaving soon. What do you think the 0 mana Druid spell is playable in Wild APM decks? Your next protest card this turn costs 2 less. I guess, like, you're saying, like, with Gadget Sand Auctioneer in the same way that, like, Pounce would be? Is that what you're saying? Like, for Auctioneer, a 0 mana card is just good. I don't think it's going to be a game changer, to be honest. Like, maybe it'll show up. But I don't know that having an additional 0 mana card is going to manifest a Auctioneer card where there wasn't. Do you think the Nidus Swarm plus Kerrigan package is worth playing? Nidus. Draw 2 Zerg cards. Oh, you can tutor your Kerrigan with this. And make it cost 6 instead of 7. I don't think I'm going to run this if... Like, I could see a light Zerg package where you're more likely to hit Kerrigan, but I don't think you're going to run just Kerrigan with this to tutor it. You know what I mean? The card I want to point out is Reconnaissance Coil in Mage. All its hits are absolutely insane. I think Mage is going to go crazy. Deal 5 damage to a minion, get a random Protoss spell. Yeah, I think this is good. I'm not like I think this is a necessarily good card. Like, Mage needs this to be good because it's otherwise not good. I'm not excited about Protoss and Mage. So, improved by Protoss spells you cast this game. So the Colossus is actually nuts once it comes down. So this gets you another spell. That's already 2. It's pretty good. If you play like 3 spells, you're dealing 8 with this. It's so easy to remove though, and it's not like it ends the game anytime soon. You get to run that. And that. I don't know. I mean, like, I hope it's good. Hero cards all have tutors, which is a little scary. Yeah, the thing is, I'm only really scared of the... I guess, okay, Artanis being consistently found is a bit good, isn't it? It is a bit good. Questline Druid is going to love the Protoss hero. Apparently, Cool Cat should improve it, but doesn't right now because of a bug. Oh. Interesting. That is a hero you can run in Questline. Where is it? Stupid Artanis. That is a hero you can run in Questline Druid, huh? Like, Questline Druid never runs Guff because it needs its hero power to deal... Why aren't I seeing Artanis? Okay. It needs its hero power to deal damage, right? Or it's like some of its cards don't work anymore. So yeah, it does seem good. And the charge is relevant to Questline Druid. Huh. Yeah, I could see this being a Questline Druid thing. How's the flavor for each faction? Not bad. I feel like my biggest complaint about the flavor of these cards is that I feel like some classes got factions they shouldn't have. Like, I definitely would have done like Rogue and... Is Dark Templar the reason Rogue got Protoss? Like, did they have to give it to Protoss? Did they have to give it to Rogue because Rogue is the one that has stealth? I don't know. Because, like, Dark Templar have stealth, right? But you could have just as easily had Ghost be... Like, yeah, the Ghost is a Terran neutral, right? Like, so that has stealth. So they could have just as easily done Ghost with this and made Dark Templar a Protoss neutral or something. I don't know. Or, you know, like, could have given that synergy to Druid because Druid has, like, a mild stealth mechanic, too. I don't know. Like, I might have reshuffled it a little bit. It feels weird to give... Terran to magic classes. I heard people say Druid mechanically is quite close to Zerg in Starcraft. I don't know. I mean, like, you could do a feral Druid. I don't see the connection, frankly. I think Druid having Protoss was fine. I would have been tempted to give Paladin to Protoss because, like, a lot of Protoss's minions feel like Paladins, but I think they work fine as Terran. Druid has a lot of swarm decks historically. I mean, a lot of classes have a lot of swarm decks. I get okay. That's a good point though. Like, the getting out like a token Druid would have been a good Zerg build. That's true. You could go either way on Paladin. Yeah. This is the card I like the least. Okay, so like Blink, Mage just got weird in this in this set. Like, we're talking about flavor. This seems like a decent card to me, just as far as like the quality of its functions. But like, this feels like Mage got a warrior card, right? I know that Mage has some armor, but this feels like armor the way that warrior gets armor. So that's for one, but also it's not like Mage has armor through Frost. There's nothing frosty about this, so it just seems random to me to give this card to Mage. But then Blink is an iconic Mage spell that's in Rogue now. So, like this should, like, especially considering that Mage also got Protoss. Why did Blink end up in this class? So I don't know. But overall, like the flavor is good, right? Like I'm excited to play Starcraft decks. I'm hoping that they'll be good in standard, at least. You know, I would love to play some. Love to play some standard Starcraft decks. I'd love to play some wild Starcraft decks. I just don't really see it for any of them. Like, I have it. It's good enough for content, definitely. This is definitely a mini set just chock full of content, unless something completely unreasonable manifests from it, which I don't think it will. But as far as like me just being a player, you know, like I'm excited to play this stuff in standard. Excuse me. All right, shall we raid someone? Goodbye.